Hello, Assalamu alaikum. This is Mohammed Noman. First of all, I would like thanks to all the respected teachers and my fellows for joining this session. I hope my voice is reaching to you clearly. Could you please reply me in chat box whether you can listen me properly or not, please? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. No need to say, sir. I am also a colleague. I am also a learner. So thank you very much. Sorry for the delay. It is a bit mistake that we have to schedule the session at 8:30. Should be 8:30 rather than 8. I forget about the Isha timings. So thank you very much again, and let me start properly. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Well, the session is on the topic of assessment type and Go formative. We just go through 10 or 12 slides before going directly to the software, you can say, or portal or website about formative. So we will start with this introduction slide, which I have showed you 30 minutes before, that you have to install the QR reader on your mobiles. If you don't have the QR reader on your mobile, please do install it now, because we have some more surveys or the more so we have some more surveys like this in our sessions. So for the interaction, right? So let's start with the session. So assessment type and Go formative. I will go to I will finish this slide quickly so that we can go direct to the formative assessment tool. So this is the topic of our session. Why we need the assessments? Of course, we need to assessment for the better assessment of our student. Rather, I can see an assessment in assessment for us as well. What we are teaching to the students, this is much more important what they are learning, because we do have so many students, but it also gives us our feedback as well. So it is a self feedback for the teacher or for us about the assessment which we give to the students. Normally, there are two types of assessment, and it's divided by the formative assessment and summative assessment. And in e-learning, both have weightage and importance, especially the first one, that is a formative assessment. So we can see quickly what is the difference between the formative and summative assessment. But before that, again, we have one Mentimeter. A Mentimeter is a tool or a website that can show the lecturer or a teacher for the interaction between the learner and the teachers. That's why I put this, just to show you so that you can use in your e-learning lectures. So I believe that you have this QR reader, and just answer this, that what technologies you are using in your online learning, whether it's a LMS based or you are using some tools or some other things. So what are the technologies you have used or you can use in your online learning? So if you have the QR reader, just scan this code. If you don't have the QR reader, then go to the menti.com website and enter the code 96080611. And let me show you also about it. And please interrupt me if I go fast, or you need some questions, or if you ask some question, please. So this is a Menti portal, and it is a presentation slide for a presenter. I will explain this later if you would like to have this website to explain. But could you please scan that code which I have sent you, or go to Menti, and the instruction is right on the top. And please answer what technologies you are using in your online learning. So it gives me also the interaction. How, for example, we have right now more than 30 participants, and how much, how more these participants are make interactive in this session? Okay, great. So we are getting the feedback from our learners. Blackboard teaching, multimedia, PowerPoint, online fast teaching, projector. Okay, so you are put the projector also. And how can you use this projector in online learning? Anyways, and assistive technology, great. NGL, okay, Zoom, Vimeo, YouTube, PowerPoint. So great. So the reason we put Menti, I'm not sure how many of you use this tool in your online teaching. So any one of you have ever used this Mentimeter, please write in chat box whether you have used this Mentimeter or not. So this is a very good tool in terms that you would like to receive instant feedback from your learners. So right now, out of 34 participants, we receive these answers from the 6 participants you have clearly seen on my Mentimeter presentation slide. So let's go in our slide. So your answer is basically on the LMS side. You have used the Blackboard. Of course, Design University uses the Blackboard LMS. So that's why you have more have answer on this topic. So here is the differentiation between the formative and summative assessment. And formative assessment is actually the assessment for learning planned and used during instruction, and it is used to adjust instructions or instructor snapshot of learning or address misconceptions. And summative assessment is an assessment of learning, and it is after the instruction, and it is actually used to evaluate for accountability or providing a grade. So right now, the Mentimeter, which I have shown you before, is actually a type of formative assessment or summative assessment. Could you please write your answer in chat box? Also, it's not a assessment, but I have used it as a tool of what? Formative assessment or summative assessment? Thank you. So it's a formative assessment. It's sort of formative assessment if we treat this session as a lecture. So we have used the Menti and other thing which we have discussed in this lecture. It's a formative assessment. So, and how can it help me as a session giver or the lecturer of this session? It's actually give me to plan myself. How can I move further in this instruction? So let's say if I conclude right now after the 6th slide that we have almost six participants which are more interactive rather than the 30 participants who have actually joined the session. So it gives me an instant answer, instant result of my learning, and so that I can adjust myself. Why the remaining 30 students are not replying me during my online sessions? And that's what we are needed in our online lectures and online learning. Why our student not participating? Either they have issues with them, or there is some some lecture delivery option from our side. What is the reason behind it? Anyways, so Menti is we have used Menti, and I believe that you will also use in your session like other tools and software. We will discuss how many and what are the other softwares which can use for the formative assessment. And one of them is a Go Formative, which we will discuss today. So formative assessment is actually defined in several ways, and some of the definitions are presenting on your screen. That is process to gather evidence of learning. So Menti results, which is right now here. Let's say this. So this is the result of my lecture, my 10 minutes lecture till now, that 6 participants give me these 18 or 16 answers. So this is a, yes, Hassan. If you have any question, just interrupt me and write your question in the chat box. I will definitely answer you. So formative assessment, we have concluded it's a process of getting the evidence of learning. So the results which are actually received by me through Menti from your side is actually what I have delivered, and why the remaining students and my participants are not receiving. Might be it's some problem with me, or I am going fast, etc. So a student communicate their level of understanding, and mashallah, you have all interact with this lecture and send me the results about that questions. During learning, to allow for adjustment in teaching in time and student to correct course. Of course, I have already discussed this. And the last one is also one more definitions about the formative assessment, that is diagnose misconceptions. Okay, I have a question. It is used to target the area that need work. Thanks. Yes, it can be. Yes, thank you very much, Michelle. Thank you very much. So some more types of the formative assessment. It's reflection logs, virtual presentations, goal checks, self and peer reviews. So so reflection time in reflections is actually allow the learners to log the details, what they have learning. Normally, it is the main idea of the objective learn. You can write your reflections, or like say reflection papers, or something after the presentation. It's about the virtual presentation in which you are actually giving a digital presentation to the team or the traders. Goal checks, we will later check about this, and the self and peer review. So among the learners, you are actually encouraged to reflect what they are progressing and what they are determined about the proficiency level or knowledge which they have acquired during or after the lectures. Some more of the types which can be used between the for the formative assessment. Some tools are the poll maker and poll everywhere. Kahoot, I guess that some teachers, I have seen that in English department, people use the Kahoot, and please write in the chat box whether you have used some of these or other tools in your online learning or not. Please write in the chat box, please. I'm trying my best to make this session interactive, and that is the reason that I'm giving this session. And this Go Formative portal, which when we will see and we will explore it, you will find that it will really make the session or your online teaching, online lectures much more interactive between the student as well. So did you ever use any of them in your session, or if you have used some other tools in your online sessions? Some of the tools which we can use for the formative assessment are right in front of you. It's Kahoot, Socrative, Play, Post-it, etc. Kahoot. Okay. What about Quizlet? Anyone use the Quizlet? Flashcards, I did not mention here. What about the flashcards? So Ms. Farhat, you have mentioned the recap questions. Can you please explain it for all of our, what exactly is this recap questions? You can unmute yourself. I guess you can, and you may answer directly. Okay, so yes, we have some teachers who have used some of these tools for the formative assessment or between their class. The majority have used the Kahoot or the Quizlet. Quizlet is also, we have seen it. Okay, I will try my best to use show you the Quizlet as well during our presentation. Here we have again one more question for you. Okay, great. So one more question is about, do you think we need to arrange more topics for trading? Okay, we will see it later, and it is for the last. This is my email address. As I said earlier that my main focus is to show the Go formative tool after discussing this formative assessment. So we have just conclude what is a formative assessment, and it is a type of the assessment, and there are a number of tools which we can use, or any of them can be used for formative assessment. And let's go for the to the Go formative site. So Go formative is the previous name, and generally it is now changed to the formative. You can just type the formative.com and you have reached on their portal. So formative assess, it is as I said, it's built for teachers, and please do not log in right now. Just wait, and I will show you how you can log in and at what time, because when you are logging on this or sign up for this website, it can give you two options, whether you are joining this site as a teacher or as a student. So right now you have to sign in as a student, not as a teacher. So if you have already tried it or sign up, go for it, but sign up as a student using your private email, and for the teacher you can sign up through your Jazan University email. So on Go formative, this is one of the tool which can be used for the formative assessment. Like some of you have already used the Kahoot or the Quizlet, but you have seen that there are some great interaction mechanism in this formative assessment, and we will see it later, and you will find, yes, really this is a great tool in the some of the way. Here is I have show you one of the answer. You can see that this is let's say we have 30 or 40 participants, and I have give you an assessment, a formative assessment through this website, and I can actually see a real live interaction, real life answer which are given by my students, and that might be not showing up in the Quizlet. So this is the main portal. You can even grade out, and you can export your grades from this side to your Blackboard, or although in the free edition, it cannot be directly integrated with the Blackboard. But yes, once you have created your formative assessment, which we will do right now, we can easily export it, and we can easily share it with our students. So let me log in this portal. Please, if you have any question, please write in the chat box. If you find that I am going read fast, or I am not explaining you, so please interrupt me anytime. So, okay. So I just log in on the formative assessment, and you have seen that there are some tabs on the top. It's formative, classes, tracker, library team, etc. Classes, if I click on the classes, right now I don't have any class. So I can easily create a class. Click on class and I said, okay, workshop class. I can pick the color and what are the grades. So let's say it's a higher education and subject is, let's say, English, and create. So I have just created one class and copy this code. This is the code which I can share with my student and like you. So you can sign up on the website and you will enter this code. Don't do right now. We will explain it later. How can you join this course? So let me add this code. Now go to the formative and I start with the new formative. Just name it workshop formative example. I can even add the marks to it this as well. So you have seen that I'm now creating the formative, and the main two things here is actually the types. Now, and you have clearly seen that there are two types, the content types and the question side. So content type is actually which you are giving to your learners, to your students. On the basis of that, you can ask from there the questions, and you have several questions here, a bit more than you can have actually in the Blackboard. So Blackboard, I'm not saying that you can replace the questions or the assessment mechanism which offered by your LMS, but this formative tools, Kahoot, Quizlet, formative are giving your students some more flexibility and some more interaction between you. So let me start one by one. I am not starting the audio. Let me start with the embedding. So what is the embedding? We have seen that. Okay, embed. We can embed our Quizlet, we can embed our flashcard, we can embed our Kahoot, we can embed our YouTube videos as well in this formative example. So let me go to the Quizlet. Okay, Quizlet. So for those who don't know about the Quizlet, is a portal where you can create the flashcard, for example, and you can use those flashcard or share those flashcard to your learners. So I'm not creating new Quizlet, but rather than I just search from the library. So being a teacher, you can create the flashcard and put them in the Quizlet library so that the other teachers can use it. So let's say I would like to have some Arabic alphabet if some teachers created. Okay, so you have seen that one teacher, he created this. Okay, so click on that Quizlet. And this is the flashcard which she created. So good. And I want to use this flashcards into my formative assessment. I would like to give this Quizlet. So I can click here. And you have seen one option is an embed. So I click embed. And what, of course, as a flashcard and the copy HTML. Once I copy, just go to my own formative. Give me a minute, please. It's just simply hanging. Okay, sorry, it's it's simply hanging there, not responding. So you have seen that we just cut copy the code from our Quizlet, and here you can see this Quizlet window added in our formative, and we can add some images as well. So let's say or text.
ये अनम्यूट करने से नहीं खुलती।
Okay, so this is an example for formative assessment, etc., etc. This is one of the most tools. The third is about the images. So let me download some images as well. Local GIFs. Try your best to download the non-copyright images whenever you have used your lectures or any public images and upload image, or you can also pick from your Google Drive. So let's say three chase. We can select and add. So we have add three formative in one of our presentation. One is the Quizlet, one is text box and some images. And what else we can do is add the video as well. So let's see what is in the video. In the video, you can directly cut copy the YouTube videos. So for example, you want to show some student about any lectures from the YouTube, go to the YouTube. So I want to show this. Okay, just cut copy this URL, go to your formative, cut paste this and add video. One more content type is the whiteboard, which I am said earlier. So add the whiteboard. And you can now check the preview. So preview as a student, you can see that how can a student can review this formative on whether on their mobile, laptops, or the tablets. I'm not sure why it's very slow right now. Sorry for that. Okay. So you have seen that the YouTube video which we have added is embed here, and we have added the whiteboard. So if you click, okay, you can add in the whiteboard, add image. You can put some diagrams, or you can put some text to your to show whatever. So just click, and you have seen this whiteboard is coming here. So we have add some things for our learners to run, and we can preview it. How can a student can watch our formative? So here it is. And there are several versions. I have told you this is on mobile, on the tablet, on the computer. So let's say on the mobile, you have seen this. Now the Quizlet template, which we have export from the Quizlet website, is now import from the Quizlet website, embed in our formative assessment. And the images, YouTube, and whiteboard. And, okay. Now, this is what the content which we have added in our formative, but our main target is to get the feedback and get the assessment from the for our learners. So now we are adding the response that is in the question type, and there are several responses. You can see there are some numeric, there are some short answer you can ask from the student, the true and false, etc. So let's add some fill in the blanks. And I can ask name, the capital of KSA is, and you can add the blank. It's Riaz. And you can see that you can even setting the formatting, but might be student add in the capital or something capital or some characters. So you can on off these things. So I simply off the sensitive so that user, whether it use the any caps, he can give the answer. So add blank, and the answer is yes. Okay. One more is about the short answers. Short answers, you have used this in your online final assessment. I have seen that many teachers in the distance learning, they have used this for some essay type questions. So name, or you can say write short note on COVID implication, etc. Some more assessment, so multiple choice. This is common, and you have used this quite frequently in your lectures. So, and let's say Formula 1 is currently going and even you can drag and drop the option directly from here as well. Rather to go click here, you can set or change instantly your question type. Okay, so just I leave this, it's a Formula 1, and this is the right answer. The last one, let's say we can add this, show your work. Now this is the game changer of the formative. show your work. This tool or this type, it can be found not in the Quizlet or the Kahoot. And if you interact with me and you will join this formative class, you have seen that this show your work is really interesting. And I will show you as a student, once a student join this, and how can he use this formative types. So let's say it's a preview. Now I can see this formative which we have created on as a student version. How can a student preview this formative which we have just created? Okay. So you can see here that I have already submitted it, but that's why it's not giving me the option. But yes. So we have just created one formative example in which we have created some content type and some question type, and that we can share with our students. So let's say after create these assessment, we can assign this to our students. So if I am a teacher, I can assign this assessment, and even I can share this with my colleagues. So if we have some more teachers in our class who are actually creating the formative, we can assign those as well. So if you remember, I have created one class before once I have started the formative. So I assign this to the students who have joined this workshop class, and assign. So till now, what we have seen is we have created the formative. We have created our account. We have created one formative. And in that formative, we have added some content and we have added some questions. And now we have that formative which we have created. In that formative, we have added the Quizlet, flashcards, YouTube videos, etc., and some question in the quiz bank as well. After that, we have created one class, and that class is actually your class in which you will share that content. The question might be arises, how can we add the student in that class? Now there are the two ways. Either you can add those the students manually in that class, or the second option is, if you remember that okay, so this is might be the formative server error or what. Oh, bad luck for me that the server is not responding. Sorry for that. Any one of you, please open this formative.com and sign up as a student. Sign up as a student and you can enter the
मशीन है 9-7 को किसने लगाया अलार्म?
Sorry, your mic is actually open. So we have already assigned it. Yes, we have assigned. And you have seen that now I have formative, and in this workshop, I have one formative which I have created, and I can see the answers as well which we have submitted by our students. So let me show you an student point of view. I just open one more window, and here I can see the formative.com. And join code. So this is that code which I was talking about. Once you have created your class, that class is generating the unique code. That unique code you can share amongst your students so that they can directly enroll on your formative class. Oh, this is really embarrassing that they have very slow network right now. Sorry for that. Normally it is working. So I simply enter as a student and using that code, which we have just copied before. And I do have one more account from my another email address. And if you don't have, you can also log in as a student. Join class. And you have seen that because we have shared that code to the our student, here we have this class and I can open it. So formative, which we have created as a teacher from the other window from here. Now, this window, the small one, is for the student. So I can read it. Yes. Okay, okay, okay. And I can write some answers. And this is the teacher window. And the small one is for the student window. And you have seen that while student entering the answer, it appears in this on the teacher portal. So let me show you this. I am now on the question 3. Formula 1 is currently going in Jeddah. So instantly on the teacher window, it appears that this student, which named as student Noman, it's actually giving that answer. And here is the show your work, which is an interesting thing. So imagine and even see. So whatever a student write here, it appears on the student teacher window without any delay. And we have seen it. Okay. So just imagine if we have so many students and you are giving some art assignment or you are giving some quick assignment that you have to put right now, they can easily interact each other at the same time, and a teacher can watch their progress at runtime rather than he wait for finishing the lecture of. So formative assessment can give teachers an instant and instant assessment amongst the from the students. So after that, I can simply draw feedback. So this is the student and I can submit it. As a student, I can submit, okay, submit and exit assessment. So the student point is finished and I have as a teacher, now I can check for every answer what he have give. So he give this question number 1, this standard, okay, this I can write whether it is true, okay, it's good note, okay, that what I have sent, it goes to the student for the review as well. Okay, he writes Jadda and he can draw this interactive work. So just imagine if you have more than 50 or 60 students and you have shared that class code amongst them, and they can start this lectures, how quickly and how interactively you can check their progress. So any of you have created this account, please let me know and just join this session so that I can show you how can the more student and how can we create more interaction for this formative assessment. Just imagine that the code is 4, 5. Let me write here so that if you want, export this here. Go to formative.com and then enter code, this one. Again, I can show you how can as a student can go. Here is the student window. You can click formative.com and on that formative.com, go to join code. And in that join code, you can enter this code 445NJQ6. Once you enter this, you can directly enroll in our class for the formative assessment, which we have just created. So if any of you have access with this portal, just join this so that I can see whether it is working at your end or not. Okay, thanks, Elsie. Yeah, I can see. So you have seen that you have given the answer here, and I can see your answer directly. Economic sabotage. Okay, this is a good answer. I can write as a feedback and that go to directly. We have given the Formula 1. So I'm waiting for your question number 4. So you have seen that, just imagine if you have number of students and who have joined in the session in your formative class, they can, whatever they are giving your answer, it's coming to your live without any delay. I'm waiting for the last question. I'll see that. Oh, great. So, and you can replace it. You can change it before submitting. Whatever you are writing, you can replace it. And as a student, as a teacher, I can show or can predict what the answer can be given by the students. Okay, the code is here. So those who still want to add this formative class, just use that code. Although it's not a perfect questions I have added in the formative, it's just to show you that you can use a number of content type and a number of question or assessment type through this formative, and then you can share it amongst your students. And let me give you one more thing that you can see on my dashboard. It is appeared that 2 students have already give this formative example. I can even edit it later and easily. So now I can add or edit this example which we have created, although I don't want to do that because I have already shared between you. So okay, these are the one which we have created before. And go, okay, great. So thank you very much, those who have joined this class and then join this formative example. Anyone more can join, and we have seen that how can they interact. Okay. In the meantime, let me explain that you have seen that I have already created 2 formative. I can create more formative or the more assignment and more interactive assessment for my different classes. So if I'm teaching 10 classes, I can create 10 or more than 10 formatives for each class. I just create the classes which I have shown to you here. For example, I have created one more class, okay, new class, and this new class is a name new class for formative, and I put some code here, and it is, let's say it's for the some adult education, and education, for example, is algebra. I create the class and copy this code because this is the important, and here you can add. So if you have the CSV format, CSV is it's a format like the Excel. So if you have a student's name and their user email, you can directly export your student from your LMS. I'm not saying that you will do this from your Blackboard. Don't do that, but you can do to export your student information from the Blackboard or from your any LMS which you are using, and then export directly to the formative so that all the student can enroll in this class automatically. The second option, which is easy one, is to just copy that code, like we have created one more class, and just copy that code and share with your student, which I have do like this. So during the class, just make the slide, okay, please join this class and give your the answer, and on the same time which we have received their feedback. So I have created one class again here, and I go to the formative, and I can start to build one more formative for the student, new formative, and Again, you can say that I can embed images, text, video, and we have already seen it. Let's say I put just a text for you. Okay. The reason why I'm showing you that you can create multiple classes and multiple formatives, and that multiple formative can be assigned to different classes as well. So it is reusable. You can reuse it, and even you can share these formatives if you create perfectly. If you have the questions, although I don't have the question from any subject right now, but if you have the question, if you have the content, you can create this formative and you can share it with your colleagues as well, or you can publish that formative in the formative library as well. So there are multiple options how to share that formative amongst your colleagues, amongst your faculty members, or amongst your students. So still we have only two responses. One is of course from my, and the second one is from LC Valdez. So thank you very much, LC, that you are cooperating and you have a bit more interactive with this session. So why not the other participants not giving the feedback? Probably might they don't have the access to that class, or I am not delivering the lectures, I am not delivering or communicating this session perfectly. So this is also is my reflection in my assessment as well, that why the other my students not able to do that. So this is what I believe, that it's a formative assessment which we have discussed in the definition. It is also for my assessment as well. Why my students are not interactive? Probably there's problem with their technical some technical aspects, or I'm actually not giving, I'm not a good teacher to explain that set. So Miss Shahla again, she joined our class and she already gave this one question 2 3. So what a reason that I am showing you, and why I'm pushing you to use this formative amongst your online learning, is just this feature that you have seen, and you can predict what your students give answers and give feedbacks live. That feature is actually not available normally in different LMS. In fact, I did not see that. So formative can be a helpful in your teaching and learning for getting the responses. Okay, we have some more could not join. So what is the reason, sir? We have already two teachers already joined, Ms. Shahla and Ms. Saransi, and they have joined. And please check. Might be you have entered some wrong code as well. So do check. So what is Ms. Shahla answer? Okay. The capital. Okay. Going on. Thank you, sir. Just yeah, yeah. I just want to say that give some false answer as well. So that's great. Could you please answer, Ms. Shaila, that or LC, that you have answered this? Did you use these type of tools in your online learning, or you know some more tools like this where you can judge the student responses during the session?
No, doctor, I did not. But sometimes during my lecture, once I give, it's within my slides. There are questions. There are some form of Quizlet, and then they will just respond immediately. So I can see in the chat. That's the only thing that I used. But this is my first time to go for this formative.
Thank you very much for your response. Thank you very much. So so you have used the Quizlet and great. So you have seen that informative, you can add those Quizlet as well. Apart that, you can add more content as well. In addition of that, you can in fact add the assessment type and assessment question as well that can help you much more than the Quizlet flashcard individually. All you have to do that you have some questions in the content before starting the formative. Okay, yeah, you can create quizzes on the Blackboard as well, but I'm not discussing any LMS. But what I am explaining and what I am delivering, that this also can be a helpful tool in your online learning for getting the instant responses. Might be in the Blackboard, you can have all sort of question types. So if you remember that we have some mathematical equations as well. So I did not see that mathematical example or mathematical questions in the Blackboard as itself. So informative, you can add that mathematics equation as well. I'm not sure whether it is available for in the free version or not, but yes, if you are using this formative as a free edition, you have more than 6 or 7 assessment type questions that you can use for building your formative assessment. And by the way, if you don't want to build your formative assessment, you can even use some public formative that have already that was created by the teachers. Let's say in the library, if you can go, you can filter it. So let's say I can put English alphabet. So you have seen. So let's say these are alphabets we have already created by other teachers, and you can reuse it. And if you have created your formative, you can share it. As I said, you can share it between your student, your teachers, and put in the formative library for public use as well. So if you click on the library, you just go to the library and search the others formative that were created and shared by some teachers. So you see that I have clicked this quiz, which was created by Anthony China, for example, and it is okay. So you have seen this and how more interactive he can create. He put the image and he put this content type, and I simply add this in my class. So if I click in the add, it's already created in my formative. So I click add and it is added. I'm going to the formative, my formative, and then I assign it to any class. See? So this is what he created, and I can adjust it as per my requirement. So here you have seen. In my formative, now it is coming states, capital, and quizzes, right? So if I click this, I can share, and I can share with the either with the student, or I publish to the library, or I send to a copy, whatever. So this is about the formative, and it is really an effective tool for you. And I encourage you to please use this and try this during your online lectures. And just go back to our menti.com Mentimeter as well. So if you think that we arrange more topics for training in the future, you please may answer. I have used this menti.com as well that we have used. Okay. This Mentimeter app can also be used for the for getting the formative assessment type. You have witnessed that I have used for getting your responses. So you can easily create the account, and you have seen that I have created multiple presentation. So now I'm asking you about this question. So do you think that we need to arrange more topics in the future? So here it is. I have created this Mentimeter, and Mentimeter is also a sort of assessment or feedback getting tool which you can use in your class. So now I can start it as a presentation. Okay. So people are now responses back. Either you can click on this QR code, or if you don't have the QR code, just open menti.com and add the code 90645162. So it is up to you. And let me more. Now we have around 33 participants and only one answer we have received through the menti.com. So what about the remaining participants? So thank you for your answer. So what my conclusion at the end of 1 hour is that the more flexible option for getting the feedback and for getting the assessment is might not the formative tool, the formative site or formative assessment. It is very easy to use the Mentimeter, and we can share it. Although we have very less options in the Mentimeter, we can not add the content. We can only add the responses type for our students. So the reason why I put this Mentimeter is not only for getting the answer from my lectures, but it shows you that you can integrate that Mentimeter along with the Kahoot. Some person told me that if they have used this Kahoot for their online learning, and that is used for the instant quizzes as well. But you can also try and check its Mentimeter. It's very interactive, and you can add some more types. So I can show you that what we have done. One more question that I can ask from you so that you can see that what sort of Menti quizzes and Menti options are available. So this is one more example for you. If you use this code and see. So my question is, on what topic you would like that we can create more trainings? Today, I feel that this formative is a bit might be difficult to explain from my side. or not a good topic for today's session, or might be or not. But what sort of more topics from our side you would like to see in future? So you can scan this code and answer me, or you can click menti.com and add the code 31352760. So Menti is today a winner as compared with the formative, because on Menti it's a handy. So we can conclude that yeah, formative is not a handy tool, but a Mentimeter is handy. So on a student point of view and a student perspective, a student might be have mobile, so he can instantly give you the answers rather to use the blackboard test or the formative assessment, etc. So Menti is a winner for today's session rather than the Go formative, where the student can give answers. Like here I have received 2 responses, but if you have noticed that on these 4 options which I have given you, although it's not limited, right now it is limited, but I am flexible in that in future on more training that come on which topics, I give you the example or answer to Kahoot, Mentimeter, Bloom taxonomy, theory of e-learning, and I have received 2 responses right now, and I would like to show how can it will appear as an answer. So I'm waiting for some more people. If you please, okay, now we have three responses. I wait for 1 more minute and I will show you about the magic that you can create through the Mentimeter. 1 more minute, okay, 4. So yes, amazing. So Menti is really a winner for that. Formative is not. 5, great. Now the interaction is coming. So once you have receiving the feedback from the student and from your learners, it's really a good news and give you the energy as well. I have seen that for the 2-hour session, when the students are not being interactive, they feel that they are nowhere in the session. So using these tools, you can create an interaction directly. Great. So we have 5 questions. So let me conclude what you have seen that on my option, on my panel, as a presenter, it coming the enter. If I click the enter, the results are appearing. So let me put enter. Okay. So out of 5, the tie is between these 2, the Bloom taxonomy and the theory of e-learning design. So this sort of Mentimeter and the interaction you can create through the Mentimeter, and it's very easy. Just wait for 1 more minute. Might be some more people would like to answer this, on which topic we have to conduct the session. Although my preference is not the theoretical part, by the way. My main focus is to show you some of the tools so that it will be easy and it's more interactive rather than to use the theory part or show you the presentation. If you have noticed, I did not show you the presentation right now. So 1 more minute and then we will conclude the session with the thanks that you bearing with me. Okay, 1 more answer. Still, the Bloom's taxonomy and theory of e-learning design is the winner. So this is the panel of the Menti on the teacher part. And I have created these 4 Menti presentation for this session. And out of which You can see that we have answers for each of them. And if I click, what do you think? Okay, if I click this, and I can in fact export the result as well in the Excel sheet, or I can simply watch the result. Click on that. So this is a Menti dashboard for the presenter. So now the 6 options are again. So that's all for the today's session. And if I conclude it with the thanks that you have joined the session, and we have seen the basic difference between the formative assessment and the summative assessment. We have explained why the formative assessment is important, and we have discussed and not discussed. In fact, we have used some brainstorming session for some of the tools which we can use for the formative, and those tools not limited to Kahoot, Quizlet, formative, etc. And we have used this Mentimeter for engaging our participants during the session. Also, we have used the Go Formative portal. We have created the class over there. We have created the formative. We have used the ready-made formative that created and shared by other teachers. Use that formative in our class. Share that formative amongst our students. Get the responses from our students and receive the grades. That result we can easily download and share between the colleagues, or upload on the Blackboard as well. So although I'm not recommend right now that you have use or integrate that formative result along with the Blackboard, just use the formative and the Mentimeter or Kahoot or Quizlet for the instruction or instructive purpose only. So that's all, and I'm really thankful again. If you have any questions, please write to me at my email address msaeed@jazanu.edu.sa. So if you have any questions, please write in the chat box, or you can email me as well. You are welcome. You are welcome. And thanks for bearing me. I am actually the IT person, so this is not a first time, but I have conducted this session after a very long time after that. So sorry for that if you found that some of the time this formative server is down, and I have I feel that it can be a more successful session. But thanks for all of those who have participated in the Menti and the formative session as well. So, and I will be more thankful and more happy that if you have used this and share with us as well. So if you have created the formative assessment, please email me that you have created this, and this is the link. You can just click the share and share with me. You create the menti.com Menti presentation and share with me and among your colleagues. You can put in the library of the Menti and library of the formative as well, so that other people can use it. Welcome, welcome. So the section is open. If anyone want to have some audio or voice message, then most welcome. I wait for 2 more minutes, and then we can conclude the session. Thanks a lot, man. Good night. Okay, so I am now close this session. Thank you very much again for joining, and I'm waiting for your emails for any collaboration. And if you want any help to design the formative presentation or the Menti site, please do email me, and do email me about what else you are looking for the from our side regarding the sessions. Although we have received that you want Bloom's taxonomy and some theoretical presentation as well. Although it's some boring, but yes, it's a good subject for the beginners for designing their online lectures. Thank you very much again, and thanks a lot.